No niin, Johannes Jokilava.
It would be actually also nice if I would see the cards that I have picked so I can remember what they were. They would be maybe in the bottom, below the stream. 509. I'm gonna go with the same cards. To see how it works.
I have seen it, yeah, but I don't remember.
That would be a high risk card if you
I always hope that they have to do it. I like
being
it
able
more.
to change
It's
the
not like it because it's
round
not
range
like
halftime and we have them in the matching cards makes them useless because of one
Yeah, because now I'm not sure
What
what
would be your top
I can remember all I have fixed. So it would be nice to see them maybe on the left.
top three would be
And then they would pop up on something like that.
color grading.
because the
I need to be able to see the games
or
and
just
just
spot
run the
whatever
coach you want to
are making.
The second improvement
There's quite a lot of stuff around it
so I
to see what's going on. So that's why it's kind of like hard to focus on the actual game.
because the tier sounds were like full, like absolutely incredible. I like that they are there.
It's the main point anyways.
Perspective.
Yeah,
I feel that I mean cheering for the team, yeah, they're shouting theirs. Both Selas theirs, clapping theirs, cheering, chanting. When it goes over the caster sounds,
not very loud.
Yeah,
I really
you
can't
can see
see
the
the
caster
game.
sounds in the game. So give me the possibility to make it quieter, or just balance it out yourself. And talking about the audio, if I click the share button 10 times, I don't want to hear the stuff again 10 times. So fix that. And second improvement would be, and that's just a joke, the third improvement would be, give me a difference between the cheer buttons and the because right now there are 4 different sides, right?
A little tutorial would be nice first because kind of hard to understand at first, but I think when you get the feel, it will go more smoothly though.
Anything more in those. Do they have any difference?
At least now I feel it's kind of confusing at the beginning.
Why wouldn't I just go and choose the top? Why wouldn't our fan base just choose one of them? Splitting the voice or like, make something happen. It can't be just audio.
I like that it has multiple choices and a lot of chances of what could happen in the round. And especially when it's a live game, it should be pretty interesting.
Visuals and audio is so different that you actually have a difference in what you choose. Like if I want to do like clap starting, then I choose it. If I want to do the end start, give me.
Currently I just feel I have to just test and play around, so I know what will happen.
If you can think of one feature that this game is missing, which would be your favorite to add? My personal favorite is the scoreboard. To be able to see the in-game tab scoreboard, or just like the bottom left maybe be able to see.
I like this screen because it introduces you more to the interface and everything, what will happen.
So I'm not that invested in the current system or that knowledgeable in every single team.
I still feel like before you can get to live game, you could just try a small tutorial for a few minutes that will like introduce you to the system more, at least in the beginning when you have to choose the cards.
Yeah, the first experience is that
And then also in the beginning, I think you should introduce what means that you will play for the both teams.
because there's so much stuff going around. Like I said before.
To be able to see them audio
but there was no corner of that.
And after those two are
I guess I didn't get any cards at this point.
it's like
There's currently happening quite a lot on the screen. Still haven't had a very
I mean, the left
good
corner,
understanding
there's, like,
yet. I think I will still understand it during the gameplay.
I keep changing, so I'm not sure what that means.
Here I was 49,
always have a chance. Give me a reason to come here.
I really like the look. It's very clean, but there's just so much new stuff currently. So
You don't know game if you are 400, you should still get like a more points than maybe 6 months or 7 months of the year. You used to get like 3 months and prestige. If
Alright,
everyone was
730 top cards.
to get what they actually
okay, so it appears that it uses the cheers on the right automatically.
Still the same cards.
But yeah, that should be all for me.
In my opinion, when you hover onto something, it should probably tell what it is, at least as like in the beginning. Because if you forget something, you can read it again.
I wasn't sure where I get
Is this card
points for the
That's the first
for the right corner.
Is a half
I get the ones at
Is this the final round?
the left corner from the cards, but
What match?
I get the ones from the right from where. I'm not sure.
If it is half time card, I'm only going
Maybe I
to use half
misread
time
something.
card and half. The second decision making process was which card is most yellow score. The score that actually matters.
Team wins with everyone having team wins from next.
And the next one was, of course, what was my opinion. I mean, the next
It's a cool concept that you have like dynamic like fans cheering on the lower part of your screen.
So first, ability,
I got more points from that.
reward, based on chance, and then like what's most likely to happen. Those are the and that should be thank you.
But it would be nice if there were some more camera angles or something like.
And more points from that. Headshot points. That is quite clear. The card.
I still haven't realized that much what the top right
The ones
points
on the right
do,
are maybe a bit too much.
or at least they seem like it's very small amount
Card
what you
things,
get.
but if it would
Only a
be,
few
like,
compared to Unit 8000 for
implemented to
the
advanced
cheerings.
type of thing.
But it would be nice
That might be fun.
if set them or something like
The card should be categorized, like I said before.
and I don't think like there would be
Bigger and easier to change them. And maybe get like bonus points from rare ones or something like that. Round winner card points down. Change the Mä annan sulle paljon säästöä lähtöön sen kauan, mä kerron, että sä velkaan sailia.
Ja Lontooks.
Maybe like they are still in that.
Not really sure how much time you'll have in the live stream between the rounds to choose, because at least for me it's kinda slow if I want to think a lot.
I don't know. Was it worth or not? Let's go to the next round. What is happening? Maybe.
But yeah, maybe if it would be integrated to a fantasy type of game, it would be fun to use. And I actually propose that it would be cool if like HLTV as the fantasy, that would be like an all year long fantasy that would start maybe like from January until like December, and you could do the fantasy for the whole year.
For example, here you have like 15 seconds to do changes if you want to. Feel like it's a bit too,
Right, so
not enough.
To be a bit hard to understand, like where I watch first.
Overall, currently I like the UI and the looking of the everything that's on the screen. I like the clean. It's like very clean.
Good amount of points. I guess I should go with the same cards then.
Because I don't really guess what there's those numbers.
I like the idea of actually selecting some different game types, like what you can actually play on.
Or watching real tournament.
I'm not sure what's actually what's this like. What is different things are.
Yeah, and I still think that you should explain what the could you call them, abilities do, like when they appear on the bottom side of your screen. It would like tell you what it is doing currently.
And I think in general,
Like I mean,
this
the images do tell something, but I still feel like you should have a text to explain what it actually does.
Enemy doesn't hit any
I'm pretty sure
players
the
or
game
does damage this much to like do the cards for both teams as well, not just the one you're rooting for.
and
And like when you play, you will understand what they do. But in the first introduction, I think it should be already told.
I think my cards are working pretty well now. I'm still in the top 4, so I'm 46 points behind. So let's go with the same one. Let's see what he's gonna do next.
Okay, so basically you can understand this right, select 6 different cards and see how the game goes. And okay, so you get the arena points, and these actually don't think. Alright, I like the idea.
A lot of cheering on, so let's do the wavy thing. Yeah, I'm not that into the things that are happening below the
So
stream.
I'm not sure if
right
it's
side
actually
and cheering
necessary
tapping thing is.
you have to fill all
Or
of these
is it
sections, or is it actually
card betting
enough
and
that you only have
predicting.
to
That's
I'm just currently playing
I
around
would
and
say that
seeing what it actually does and affects the gameplay.
could be a better state that
I do like the concept that you are actually with other fans playing,
like I think in this you
and you could basically race against the opponent fans.
then you have to play your cards. So I think it could be a bit better explained, like that you first have to do the bets and then you're gonna do the player cards. for example, that these bets would be only in one view,
And it would be nice
and then you could actually continue to the
change
player
the
view.
cards
So you
between
can
the
actually
rounds
change
as
per
well.
player these different things. It's actually good to
See the ones that are not happening.
like what's happening in
Kind of
these
do like
views.
fast stops or
But when I
something like
got
that.
it, it's
I'm
actually,
on the
actually makes sense.
little introduction. I did miss what the two peoples and the number after it means, so I'm kind of lost with that because they change between hundreds and thousands. So I'm kind of lost with that.
So, but the points might change in round two or so.
So when I click the round and I'm about to set the card, let's say when there's like a bomb using which by diffusing bomb, I'm not sure like is this like for the whole game or or some specific round? Like let's say whenever a team wins by diffusing the bomb, it's actually like you get a point, you get these arena bus points when it happens, but also that could be a bit explained.
I'm still wondering how you can upgrade the cards. I see like 1 out of 4 stars on every card, so I haven't still understood how to upgrade them. As I have said many times, I feel like a little introduction where the game shows you like in actual like
Here that you get actually more arena.
not like by theory how it works and by text, but that you actually have to do it and follow the tutorial. Just a small introduction that way. Because currently you have to like try the game and
That's
learn by playing basically. At least that's what I feel currently.
okay. I really like this. This actually goes a bit more hardcore at this point because you have to understand like the basics.
Also, I feel like you should be able to look at the game's scoreboard,
I'm not sure if it's
like how it's in CSGO from tab on default. You should be able to look at it as well.
When I actually go all of this through, you have to actually start to memorize. Was there some specific card that seems to be better than some other? Yeah, that seems to be the main issue with this view. And once again, like, still I'm not understanding what's the point of this one out of 4 with the card. I'm not sure how it works.
I don't feel like you can currently look at the scoreboard even on this menu, so that's kind of something I'm currently missing.
Okay, this I also like this, like some random
And
stuff
then I
which
think
happen.
between the rounds, if you don't want to change anything on the cards, you should be able to like full screen on the game or
Once
round.
again, like he has no confirmed damage or kill in 10 seconds. Like I'm sure, like what's the point of this card? Like has not performed damage or kill in 10 seconds. That's actually mean.
I do like that it's dynamic and shows in live time on the left side what cards have activated and what you have kind of earned.
Nothing will happen. So I'm not sure if that's an error, and that should be actually something like 1 minute or something, because like 10 seconds happens easily, like especially when you have teams that are.
I do feel like this is more interesting and a more fun way to watch streams and games.
Yeah, like turnaround humans round after more than half of the team's kill. Okay, that's really good card. I think that's great. Like, these are the small things that really.
Also, not really sure if there are more cards some more could be added.
It
And now,
will feel
yeah, I still
cool,
haven't
get those
figured
points.
out how to. There, like says that it's a card upgrade info, but I still haven't understood how I can upgrade it, or if I can, but it seems I can.
I got points from the cards I did choose. Not sure how that works.
The grenaders, gain damage to or more opponents with grenade. I think that's pretty easy to get, or very
And as I said in the starting, in my opinion, you should have introduction what happens when you switch select one team, and what happens if you play for the both teams. So you have introduction to both,
even be like
so you don't go blind into testing it.
more damage
And there could be like cards that are changing between the rounds as well.
per
They
round.
wouldn't be the same ones all the time.
Because there are like a lot of teams like Astralis who are extremely good playing
Kind of boring as
and
well.
also well, Inferno they are known that they do plus 150 damage per round, so it could be really good how teams actually
But still, I mean,
use
the
and
same
you would
word
actually learn a lot about the game.
is implemented.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that should lure more players
Let's say
and other people to watch, because it's dynamic and you don't just sit, because some people don't just enjoy watching, they enjoy doing something at the same time. So now you can somehow interact with the game or stream.
means that once again like they're doing the nature effect on the back. I like it.
There's like there's two kinds of Astralis players,
Friendly fire.
but the one guy is blue.
Like my first feeling was like
Yeah, the cheering is a bit.
ask like team members do this on purpose, but it was like this is not that interesting part for me, I would say, because things happen and I thought it's very hassle, so I would actually change this to something else. Let's say that you will get a person will knife you, or you would get
Yeah, like
at least one
when the
knife.
next round is starting, I feel like, yeah, before that you should be able to look at the scoreboard, so you can see, for example, the team's money, what weapons they have, and have they won or lost last rounds, so you can predict and bet more better and more accurate, and get more info from the game.
Screening
Deck and then another one card. Okay, so the same cards are again. I would say that it would make more sense that you would pick two right away. I don't see a reason of coming back to the menu and then going back here, because you have been probably
I would like to have more like
thinking quite a while
the
what you
cheering
want to do.
right?
In a way, like it's a different strategy, maybe to pick two than only one. So I would prefer to be thinking the same thing and just pick the cards right away.
Cheering and stuff. Not working for me at least.
And like currently there's only pistol kills, like options that a player kills someone with pistol. Not sure if it changes when you upgrade it or something, but in my opinion there should be like a AWP option as well, at least.
I think in general, I think this review is taking fairly long to do. So, although I would not recommend it, like this is taking like
In my opinion, before the round end, you should have also option to change the bets, and they will only affect the next round, not the current round, of course. So that way you could probably bet earlier and not miss the round start, and like be late and not on live basically, because if you bet like for 30 seconds after every round, and the round has already started and the game pauses it, it stacks up and you might be then like late many minutes from the live game, if you actually want to see it very live, and maybe even discuss about it with your friends.
I mean, if it's like also in a way or like, it doesn't matter if it's a kill.
So kind of like when they are all chosen at the time, it doesn't make sense to like choose them.
Well, I think
It would be
like
nice to have one
if you look at these cards, these are like super like
then
unbalanced.
it would be
Like most of the pro players will
Because now it's like, why would I choose the card? Because they're all
some of the best players actually
already.
have like plus 70% heads-ups in the game. So for me, it seems that the first card, the heads-up card, is actually really overpowered compared to some of the other cards, which are like posed for some specific outcome. Um, Especially like I don't see the point of having like clock P 2000, P 250, and USB because um, you kind of go to predict what pistols the person is going to use because on CT you can basically use P2000 and also use
Yeah, I like the concept,
So,
but you don't actually
basically
bet with
if you just
real
know,
money, or for example on
which
Piquen
people
you would
will usually place,
bet with stickers that would also cost real money, so this is like not real money and it's basically for fun
so
currently,
basically
not for the money. And yeah,
remove
this could be the way how to introduce someone into esports more, because they don't just have to sit and listen and try to understand, they'll also see everything like this. But of course, for someone who hasn't played the game, they might not understand what the bets and hero cards actually do and what they even mean. So somehow there should be like tutorial for very beginners and you could choose it and play it
in a way for that reason I think
as an optional,
points you will get
not
from
something you
different
have to go
cards
through,
should
because
be,
some players
mixed.
already know
Because
it.
now they're all the same, but if you're gonna do heads, I would say you will get 10 points, but if actually Allu is going to land a bomb, or even better, like defuse the bomb, I think it should be like
Wondering
at
if
least
the meter
triple
below
the amount of
like
points
based on like
that
how that round is going.
than do
But on a live game, I
So
don't
I will
know.
obviously pick the headset because I think in this case this is by far the best card.
I guess there could be some operator doing that. Based on how many kills they got. Yeah.
And I think it's very much the same with other cards because you can seem to get the heads up card for each of the players. I would always pick.
Okay, so at the beginning the bottom
Points will be the same for all
line
cards. I would
was
almost
moving very fast to
every
left
time
and right. Now it's pretty slow and yeah, more in control.
Obviously, that's the best way.
But yeah, as I have said many times, I feel like the tutorial that will explain like everything you do, how it matters,
So let's say that
should be explained
Axel
more.
does triple kill, Alex well, Alex
And in the stream we just saw the both teams' team equipment. I think it should be added somewhere so you could see it almost always like better, just counted together, not like it's currently shown. You can see CT has 3 flashes, but it's more quick to see when they are just counted together.
the point you
Or I would like to have options to do something during the round, but then again,
in general, like I think it's really interesting. Like when you actually should join,
cheering
this, like if you know that the game will start say, in 30 minutes or in 15 minutes, like how much you should prepare.
And also I think you should see the round history somehow, like who has killed how many in average, like on the rounds.
I don't know yet.
So you could pick your hero cards more accurately.
But it's like going when I get those.
Okay, so I'm gonna see.
No.
Well, like as I mentioned earlier, like
the layout will
you will
change a bit.
understand the game much more better, and you will actually learn
Now,
from the teams quite a bit when you see these cards popping by. Although you won't be following like certain player or certain tactic that in depth, it's cool that you actually know that these things are happening all the time around. Okay, can't remember what were cheer points and how to get them. I at least really learned that from the trial.
Okay, so now there appeared a few yellow cards, but I don't know where they came from. Did I upgrade something like double kills? I think you should have some kind of notification if you have upgraded something and everything that changes in the cards.
Okay, I like the idea, like actually going head to head with different teams and the two fan bases, but I didn't yet understand like how you actually get the cheer points.
Like, I know it already, or something like that, actually, that first, or
Then I mean, in the future, I feel like there could be translated the whole game to different languages, and also if the country has their own casting in their own language, it should be
Seen quite
added as an option, so you could choose, for example, Finnish if you're a Finnish player and want to hear the casting in Finnish.
What's actually happening?
if this comes, I would like use this probably, or try this.
And the whole view on the right seems to be like.
But even if you like would choose the country as a different or casting as a different, but the game is same, you of course should have all the fans still together counted somehow.
What these items are, what you
It's like official live stream like this, because there's still like more information than watching only like yourself in CSGO.
So you have 20 seconds to change the deck, which seems to be you have to do it fairly quickly.
But yeah, like now, if the round lasts quite long, it would be fine to have something that you instead of just like stomping or cheering or.
Yeah, select cards of credit. But
Actually, not this box, I think, but the red container
What,
and blue
like this?
container, they're not, there's nothing inside of them. They're just empty. Nice shot from Saibu. Looks like you're shooting
Yeah, so like
thin panes of metal.
I think the main issue with this box is that it's you don't really. Yeah, well, I can understand that it's like
playing that really nice.
for the shouting, and then
It's just saying.
all the rest of the items are really hard to understand. And like, I would be interested to know like if this
Or
what happens.
Yeah, like in the top left, if you get more energy when your card activates, you'll see like, yeah, you get more energy. So in my opinion, if you upgrade a card to like rare one or better one, it should give some type of notification, like maybe add a new column that says like upgraded cards this round or something. And I haven't seen the stars change from 1 out of 4 at any time currently, so I'm still wondering what it means,
Yeah, now that I
or
know
when they will
they're all-
change, or if they will change.
Except they're all active, it's kind of a bit boring. So they should have much to do.
I think in general, like when you see the card on the left that something happens, it would be cool that you click the card and actually see like, when that happened, how that happened, or actually move to the player.
Yeah, I'm still seeing only 1 out of 4 stars, but there appear some more rare cards. Then also something I'm wondering is why you can't choose like every card to every player. For like example, for Alex B, you have that he will get first kill, but like I mean, Allu could get one as well if he plays AWP, but I can't choose the first kill
So
for him.
therefore,
Oh, did they do it?
many of these cards seem to be really
This one,
unbalanced because
1 to 4 thing is kind of.
you should get a lot more points of some things that seem to be
Yeah, but this could be something.
seem to not be happening that often. Like let's say defusing the bomb or winning a round with let's say less than 2 people in the team.
Then like 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And set. Or is it please? Because like I think
Okay, now I can see halftime results.
or like really there's
Okay, so it has a good explanation of how it counts, for example, my XP, and it some rewards, and now I can claim them.
so big, so there's
Okay, now I got more
I
cards.
think like
Yeah, this is what I
the
wanted as
amount
well,
of
more
spectators
cards.
should be in the same place as is on the right.
is this game like so ready to go Mayor tournament or
Okay,
I think like Telia esports level it's not so big so
alright.
Seem to do.
when you really can see real time how it is working
Every time team hasn't done anything in 10 seconds.
and then
Okay,
It's kind of easy to get.
there's not so much
Then it kind of happens like almost
Yeah,
all
so
the time.
I think the icon should be in
okay,
the same
now
way
I have more cards as
Using
well.
the cards
Something
on
I
the
didn't
side.
even see that I got from the rewards.
you only need change the color
and I still don't really get like how you get the points so you can actually cheer the team.
Ashi or Kova esports like something like that.
I usually pick.
About cheering to do. I don't know.
Okay, at least in the halftime you have quite a lot of time to read everything, get the rewards, change your bets, change your player cards.
To actually
Yeah,
put
yeah.
some kind of chat available so you can actually discuss with people who are watching the game and especially with people in the leaderboard.
Now I feel like you have quite a lot of time, but still should have a bit
Yeah,
more.
is this like only boosting them or because you get like things
It would be interesting to understand like how this actually works when the game is ongoing all the time because now it seems to be forced.
Also, like the
Actually,
cheer points on the top right, I think you should get them more because you get quite a not very high amount. I do understand if there are multiple people at the same time, like hundreds or thousands of people, having everyone like press 2 points to something, it's a lot, but as a just single player, I feel like it's not enough.
and again, like whole Twitch chat is like brings the feeling of like you're watching it together with somebody, and you kind of get the same feeling out of this, like you're like somewhere with group of people actually chanting for their own team. But like now, as this view doesn't have like a chat and you don't get the instant reactions of the team or the fans, for me it feels that actually watching this mostly alone
Hard.
feels a bit artificial actually to chant different things. So I would say this kind of requires that you would be able to discuss with the fans and especially with your own fans.
Yeah.
Because I think like,
Fifth and then
this
Currently nothing
you
to
all
actually say.
cards and you
Again, I
have
would like to see the scoreboard more.
might
whatever that means.
get the best result. It would be pretty cool to actually listen to other people doing the round, because some of the rounds seem to take quite a long, maybe almost 3 minutes. So especially in those moments like what's happening right now,
probably need to gain.
see these are saved.
So let's see what's on the paper.
These are like
So my name is Mikko Suomi.
the most boring moments of the game. Like you're mostly waiting for the next round to start.
Well, at least for me, I would say it's kind of confusing. Since you don't know what
And
that
if you actually make the game even more interesting, if you could actually see which cards some of the players in the leaderboard are using, that would actually
well, at first I was like, well,
you could understand some of the strategies. You could actually see
when I
almost
began
only
the game, I noticed that they are all active all the time.
I remember it used to be that like
Maybe one thing that would be
But like,
great
once
is
again, like,
you could
same
actually
cards,
decide your own camera position. Like maybe it could be option for more experienced users and not for the beginners, because they might be lost with the whole game concept at first as well. But when you actually know what you're doing and play, you could decide your own camera angles. So maybe the casting could be from like stream, and then the whole game is from the live CS:GO. So then you could move the camera around and choose your own camera angles. And there could be some pre-made cameras, like cinematic cameras, in every map to different angles and places, common places like for Nuke outside. And if not that, at least that you could see every player's angle, like the player's angle you would want to look, because the caster might not show that angle, or player's angle.
All my friends who watch CS, they don't like to
So what if I actually change all the players or the headshot?
Then also in the tutorial there should be probably shown what happens if the bar goes like fully on the enemy team fans, like they win and cheer more. So what actually happens then? And what will happen?
improve on these things, I said, I would give it a go.
These seem to be changing.
And
It's
your
like
friends are
And again, currently as I'm changing the hero cards, I would like to see the scoreboard and see what weapons the CTs have, but currently I can't.
for
This kind of gives me
number 7, do you think you would spend money on acquiring better cards? Well, at least with the game at this stage, I wouldn't say so.
Because this is a live game, I really can't say yet, like, how it's gonna go in live games, but I just feel like, as I have said multiple times, that the time will probably be a problem, at least in this way.
Like 8 years or something like that, I guess I would use more money on that.
like I usually wear my computer.
Were you ever confused about how the product works? Yeah, there was
like one of
quite a
the
lot
things
of
that
different bars
would be
with all like right hand and
although it doesn't have like right now in the chat,
equals
like
and balls, and the cheering meters and those were
it's really hard. Like I have a card.
before playing, or you click on that.
I have the cards like if somebody's fragging a lot or getting a lot of assists.
Number 9,
Like not being able to see
I'll make the confusing thing.
what is worse current situation with the frag, let's say.
And also that
See
there
if
is
it's
not
dull.
hard for active all the time, so that kind of
Like in a way,
dull the
I
moment.
think the best for this could be a combination of like in-game. So
What
now
would
4
be your top
after
3
changing
key
all
movements
for all
tips
of
in
the
the future
capture
that you
cards.
would suggest? Top 3.
But I think like
You could only choose one
this
card per
leader
round.
needs
It
the
would make
chat.
it work.
Yeah, but
So
I like the idea that
Number 3,
you can like cheer for your team without actually being there, but you can still affect and hear like the cheering amount and everything,
or
like the clapping and stomping and everything.
similar feeling like watching through
number 3,
from Dota 2 or
categorize the cards.
in-game.
So it kind of gives you some kind of feeling that you're actually in there, like there watching the game and cheering.
Should I actually pick the headshot card for somebody?
And also added to the scoreboard like overall game stats, and maybe you could have option to see the teams like match history, so they would actually just everything be in the same place. Like you don't have to go to different website to check their history, like in the beginning of the game before the game starts. Also, like to see the streams chat would be awesome. Like if it's from Twitch, you could add the Twitch chat somewhere, so you can see their reaction as well.
But yeah, those were my thoughts. And let's see what this game is when it launches.
And it's still like fairly hard to understand like what's happening with the with chance, like what happens. Like yeah, I see the people moving on different sides and taking over, but like what happens if the bar actually goes all the way? Like it would be pretty cool to actually like feel that the team actually performs better, and it could be done in a way like the people that have chosen the inside get some points or something. In general, like, I feel like I'm losing some information while watching this. Like it's either the frags, it's either the chat. Okay, so it seems to be dropping. So the headshot stuff is not working that well. It's good to know that you all the time after the round you see what's the status. So
One thing I realized, not sure if I missed the card or it just wasn't there, but like a close half card appeared after half time, and the card is to predict what the score is in half time. So not really sure if it's meant to be that way or should be.
5-1, so okay. Would make sense to change the card.
I don't really know what I'm even trying to say anymore.
This seems to be a bit weird. I can select the. I can't select the match loser, or it doesn't like get to this view. But I can select the total domination match winner card. But it might be doing something like choosing the match loser, but it feels a bit confusing.
Or anything like
I
that.
don't think it will match winner. But it's really, I'm not sure how this would work if this is actually a live situation, because now I can just wait.
Yeah, it seems like they have like the cards are actually stick to the players. Like when there's a support player, he has more of options to have like plants the bomb or like dusk damage or something. But in my opinion, it should be added that you can add them to like every player, because not always the support does that, for example.
I don't have enough throw to change the cards. So I'm not sure if it's actually possible to. Would it be possible to actually browse some of the cards already in this view? So let's say if the game is super boring or the round seems to take quite long, would it be possible to actually browse some of the cards and already think beforehand, like what they're gonna do when this round will end?
No, I actually can like buy everything.
And this is a perfect example of the moment when Alex is your turn and about to get a lot of friends. Like when I would like to see the reaction of the chat.
Okay,
or
so
some kind of thing.
seems like nothing happens even if the line goes to the
I would be really
like right or left side of the line,
reaction of
or feels out
like how
fully.
how did it go? But right now, like it's like missing something.
Okay, so for example, when there's this tactical pause, I think you should be able to still change the bets and hero cards, because yeah, I don't think you can
This is
currently.
like this is a good example like of a bit like board moment when the team takes a tactical pause, or let's say it's a technical pause, and they can easily take like 5 to 15 minutes. Like what should I do now? Like, yeah, I can chant for the first one for the team, but there is not much to do in this view. Like when we're waiting actually for the round to start, you can watch the replays. Yeah, that's okay. That's the same thing with Twitch. But in these moments, you also like kill time by writing in the chat or browsing something.
Every computer can run this, and
So in those moments, it would be pretty cool to actually see the cards again and think about them.
more fun. Like maybe get maybe just like little bit bigger screen and more basic overlay. Would be like I think really good.
And also this is like a, once again like a pretty good example. Like although the round is pretty tight, but you can quite quickly understand that there will be nothing is going to happen in 1 minute or in 45 seconds. So it's pretty important to actually, you could try something else. You can either see the chat, or you can actually change the cards.
Yeah, I still feel like the cheer points you don't get enough of
Like
them.
any additional information at this point, like either about the team, about the past matches,
And still,
would be interesting.
it's 11 or 10 to 11, and I still haven't learned how to upgrade the cards. Even though when you go to the bets or hero cards, on the bottom left it says that it has the card upgrade info, but
So I will
don't
go
really
for
understand how
the,
to upgrade
that all
them.
players
But
will have
apparently now one has upgraded, or I have an epic one.
Like yeah, like you could
Or maybe I had that the whole time, but I just missed it.
like would be nice. If you like have a fast computer or
would be interesting to understand like how the spectator amount or the fan base amount actually affect how you generate the points. Like let's say like it's some like tier 1 team which has a huge fan base against like tier 3 team. Like is there any possibility actually like win the game against tier 1 team from fan base? Okay, this is interesting. Like, I was 4th, and I was 7th, and it's simple because like Vitality has started to win, and I have mostly all the player cards from the inside. So I'm not sure actually if the leaderboard is.
Then
only
there's
for the
also
inside
the question
or
how it affects if the game is not very
for
popular.
everyone who's
Like
watching the game.
if you see a peak of a few thousand watchers change, how it affects the gameplay of this. Like if it's like two not very favorite teams, how it works actually
I think like
in the game.
although the bar is
Like
almost
especially
the
then
middle,
you should
it's
get
like
more
there's
cheer
way
points, so you can affect more if there are less watchers
fans
on the whole game.
like some don't know what to do.
So, speaking about the icons, like, yeah, the first one is like champion, I guess. Like, second one is
And then there's the question, is it only for like Star Ladder and major games, or are there actually some like smaller teams as well, like for example some not like very pro team but semi-pro, a different tier team? Are the games actually available here, or only majors? And some of the games might not have casting, so how that actually works. You'll only have the gameplay and not very like interesting views, because the casters aren't there explaining what happens, especially for some beginning players that want to get into the esports scene but don't play much the game or have just started.
And I in general, I'm not sure like how the time will work, but the live stream play seems to be not on that point that I would like to watch the match with like I usually watch with like best quality possible. And now this seems to be a bit off, and like for it doesn't matter like in most of the games, but especially the games that I really want to see, like or the finals I really want to get the best quality.
Not sure how it's gonna go in live game, but it would be cool that you would hear the actual cheering and everything from the crowd that is live in the game, watching like in the majors, and then when you cheer in the game, you'll also have like additional noise from your own choices and other players' choices.
Like at this one, I would like to see like there's like AKs or like Maxen or some of the other inputs that you can actually use. This like the mid game,
It'll all make sense.
there simply wouldn't be like pistols that much, except for the Yuga rounds. So and like
Alright, niin se on sitten sen
it'd be also pretty cool actually if you could get more points. Let's say if you would pick like AWP for one person or one player, and you'd actually get more points because you know or we know that this player is not really often playing AWP. So let's say like from M's team, like Ariel, who's mostly playing like rifler, like actually would get a kill with AWP and would actually get like 50 points like right away. And I in this video like I see like 570 points, but I'm not sure like which place I'm in. So it would be cool to see like I'm out like let's say 7 out of 150.
Alright, sounds interesting. Let's see.
And if this game gets big, like I feel like this game could be somehow introduced into the majors. Like if it gets really big, there could be some like cooperation with the majors. Like you could see the results that are in here in the game, and you could see them live in the major if you're there sitting and seeing, like for example on some screen. So you could like affect also, and like people who are live in there could also see what you are doing here, even though you are not in the place.
It's getting a bit boring.
Just behind your own computer.
Although I'm second, I'm like that much like feeling too much the excitement because I'm once again like I'm in a way I understand that I get the feeling like the fans are chanting, but in a way I feel that I'm missing something because like there's no ability to discuss with your fellow fans. And I'm not sure if it's possible, like, it would be really amazing to actually have a card about some specific tactic. So let's say, like, are you going, is Ens going to plant on A or B, or which bomb site they're going more often? Because that would make the, like, from a tactical perspective, the game even more interesting. And for most of the players, while they're watching the games, it's also to learn how players peek in different corners, how they shoot. But like one of the biggest learnings for people to watch the games is actually to understand the tactics.
There's of course the point that like some players actually like to analyze the gameplay and learn from it, so when there's a lot of things happening on the screen, it's not very favorable for them though. But I mean, it's still a good way to introduce into esports. But for very experienced players that want to learn, it's probably not the best.
I like how they do it, like it's really simple, but yeah, there's the like.
And now I
And
think
like
doing 8 times or using
there's like some cards like team wins entire match or team ends a half with an average team of ADR 80 and above. I think some kind of those cards should be something you pick before the match and they lock in. You can't change them anymore, and you can get a lot of like that energy from it. And like it's kind of risky, and like you actually have to learn about the team's history and what they are against and everything like that.
But in a way, I feel that like it's a bit disconnected. Like I see the card, I see that something happens, but I can't go to that specific moment.
He's not going to know just how close they are. Smoke fades, and now he's going to see they group up in front of him, and he gets 2 big kills. Is that enough to make a difference?
Yeah, currently I'm just feeling that I can't affect that much. Like, if, example, I select to Scream, I feel like I can't affect that so much. Like, I mean, I put my cheer points on there, nothing happens, but then 10 seconds later there's suddenly thousands of points to the Screaming, even though there might not happen something so interesting. So I feel like
Who will win the
as a
round?
single player currently I can't affect the cheering so much.
You will
That's
get,
just
like, 2
how I
cards,
personally
will
feel.
Zaibu or X never win the round, and the points will be actually scaled. Let's say like both have 100 HP. You will get the same points, but if,
Oh, okay,
let's
so
say,
I think the
other players
card
under
packs
80
are like when you play more
anyways the
and
round,
more, then you'll get it. But that's something that should actually also be introduced to the game before you start, so you understand there's a level system in the game and
so like having like
card packs, and
some
yeah, like I think they
cards
introduced
happen
it too late on the half time first time.
one
So they should be like introduced earlier. And here we see AW kill, SG553 kill. This is what I actually wanted to see. But yeah, I understand. It's a cool concept that you have to play the game to earn them. But that's again something you should tell, because I thought there's actually not that many cards and that you can get more. But yeah, you can like get them. And now, if I understand correctly, it's still not said, but like the upgrades happen when you use them in the matches a lot. But we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so more you can get tickets to win team gear, and then there's the sticker. So is the sticker for this game CSGO? Not really sure yet. Doesn't tell. But yeah, sounds very good in the giveaways. But then the question is, when there are no majors, like very big majors, is it worth and good to like give weekly giveaways or have weekly giveaways? It could keep the game more alive during when there's no majors, but is it worth it? Yeah, I'm not the one judging here. Okay, so then the summary. So yeah, I feel like it's a good way to introduce new players to esports and people that haven't watched esports that much. But more tutorials and optional tutorials for more beginners would be good. So I was currently, as it was my first time, I was somehow trying to think about the strategy, how I pick the cards and bets, but I feel like if you would see the scoreboard and history of the match, how it has gone through, you would have better like options to do decisions. I don't think I have a favorite card yet because I haven't played that much. I did like the option that you now got the AWP, but at first you had only like pistol kills, so I feel like players that have played the game a lot will dominate more than like very first timers. Well, I mean, cool concept to have like packs where you get more cards, and yeah, I did feel very happy when I saw that there are actually more cards. And then also like, yeah, I just like the cheering and the feeling that you're actually affecting how it feels in the game. I would recommend this game to people, actually, people that don't like just sitting and they like to do something meanwhile. So this is how they can have something to do meanwhile they're actually watching the game as well. Also, to player that hasn't watched esports that much, this could be a great way to introduce them here.
let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think I will use this in CS:GO like in future. But if there's no option for scoreboard, for example, I don't like that so much. I like the freedom when you watch it in CS:GO Go TV. Like you can have free camera and you can like analyze the game more. But as more experienced player, that's all for me. But for more beginners, it's not probably something they need so much.
With this thing where it's actually the jumps are made artificially.
I don't feel it's like if you would buy the cards on actual real money, I feel like some of it should go to the team, like support the team then. Monthly amount, well, I'm not the kind of person that uses so much money, so not much. 20 euros, depends how the game, how it affects the game, but I don't, yeah, it's just in the end for fun, more for fun, I feel. Yeah, at the beginning I was very confused how it works, like I don't feel like the only small text boxes are enough to introduce you to the game. I feel like you should have like walkthrough tutorial, that you have to do it and follow the tutorial. It explains and shows different situations and what happens. But yeah, like when you play, you learn a lot and understand how it works. And especially after the first match, getting new cards, AWP card, then I was like, yes, and that's something that yeah makes me probably use this. Yeah, the beginning was kinda like walking into something like black room. You don't know what's in there. Like just yeah, it was something very strange at first. But yeah, more tutorials, and I feel like there's no that kind of feeling.
Yeah, I think my player.
Top 3 improvements, add scoreboard. So you can analyze more. Then yeah, the tutorial at first, and then more tutorials, like optional tutorials, like part by part. Some tutorial explains in short, like because you might not want to go through 15-minute tutorial if you understand some part of the gameplay, but you don't understand the other parts. So you should have like tutorials in different parts, and you could choose from them. So yeah, that's what I feel.
We also get to see like once again like what's the leaderboard.
Yeah, my favorite one is the scoreboard, so you can bet better and predict more.
I think
Yeah, that's my favorite probably.
having this like
Thank you.
chanting thing is nice, but the much more interesting part of this game is the betting, actually selecting the cards and seeing the leaderboards. So like feels a bit like unnecessary, like
Yeah.
the whole thing